Hi, I'm Phoebe and we're here to interview Roger Proctor, who is the son of Ian Proctor, the man that designed the topper. Hi Roger, tell us about your dad's vision.
It had to be easy to transport, affordable, easy to rig, and really just fun to sail. That was really important because he wanted to give people a love of sailing for life. You know, a key motivation for my father was that actually sailing gave people independence, gave them self-reliance, it improved their decision-making skills, and it, apart from making them physically fit, it made them mentally fit as well, which I think was encapsulated in the design of the topper.
I get that because I love the fact my dad can't tell me what to do when I'm out on the water. But it's been almost 40 years since the boat was designed. What's happened in that time?
Well, things have certainly moved on since the boat was first launched. I mean, we moved on from fiberglass into polypropylene, and now there are 50,000 boats worldwide. The other thing to say is that I'm really proud of seeing my father's vision really brought to life every day. It's just fantastic coming to these kinds of events and seeing what happens and how much enjoyment everybody gets out of the boat. So who would have believed back in the 1970s that the topper would be launching the careers of Olympic sailors, heroic round-the-world sailors, America's Cup sailors and Paralympic champions. It just goes on and it's still happening today.
That's amazing, Roger, but we're more than 20 years younger than those sailors. Why do you think the topper is still relevant today?
It's a fair question, Phoebe. I think in this day and age of computer-modelled boats and designs, I think you have to ask yourself why the topper is still relevant. And I think it comes down to a really simple answer. When the recipe is right, it is right and it stays right. And I think that's the simple answer for the topper.
What does that mean, Roger?
So firstly, every single boat is the same. It's a uniquely one design class, and that's because they're all injected from polypropylene. And the great thing about polypropylene is it can be recycled up to 8 times, and that makes the topper the most environmentally friendly dinghy on the market. So really, there isn't any need to change that. When you actually think about it over the years, we've made a few enhancements to the design, to the spars, the rigs, the foils, but it's actually fundamentally the same boat that it was right back in the 1970s. And more generations of sailors like you, Phoebe, are wanting to race their toppers harder and faster.
Thanks, Roger. We all love our toppers. Hi, I'm Eloise and this is Helena Lucas. Hi Helena.
Hi Eloise.
Helena won a gold medal at the London 2012 Olympic Games in the international 2.4 metre class and followed that with a bronze medal 4 years later in Rio. And today I'm going to find out what she thinks about toppers for learning and racing. Helena, am I right in saying you started out in a topper?
You're absolutely right, Eloise. I think my first experience of topper sailing was when I was about 10 years old, and I had learnt to sail with my parents in their enterprise, but it was my first time on my own in a boat and it was just brilliant. Absolutely loved it, and then I got into racing and things kind of led on from there. 420s, 470s, Olympic squad, 2.4 metre, but I just remember my topper days with fond memories and just what a fantastic boat it was.
I was 13 when I started sailing my topper. When is the best time to start?
I mean, it's great, you know, starting as a kid because you've got years and years ahead of you to obviously practice and improve and all that sort of things. But the topper is a fantastic boat for anyone. Adults can jump into it and have just as much fun as you guys do. And I think what's brilliant about the topper is it's a really simple boat to learn to sail, and then you can quite quickly actually start doing really well and start winning races and doing well at club level, and then if you want to take it further you can go internationally. And topper's done a great job of bringing out some different size rigs as well. So you've got the small 4.2 rig, then the 5.3, which has been the standard rig since topper existed, and I believe they're introducing an even bigger rig now for the adults. So it doesn't really matter, but I think, you know, you got a bit of a head start on a lot of people starting at the age that you have.
Can you tell me more about jets, Helena?
Yeah, jets, brilliant concept. It's been going for about 8 years now, and it started when the 4.2 sail or rig got introduced. 6 clubs along the south coast take it in turns to host a training weekend, and as a coach it's just a brilliant setup because the club members, the parents just do a wonderful job of just hosting us each weekend. As coaches, we just turn up, jump in the ribs, and we have the pleasure of obviously coaching you guys out on the water. And I think what's fantastic is that a lot of past Jets come back to pass on their knowledge.
Thanks, Helena. I know the Jets really enjoy having you coach us.
Hi, I'm Flip Folds. I'm going to introduce you to Colin Bristow, the Class Association Chairman of ITCA GBR. First of all, Colin, what is the purpose of ITCA?
Hi Flip. So the International Top of Class Association and its many parent volunteers bears quite a lot of responsibilities. We put on 6 national series events each year which bring sailors together across the country, as well as 1 national series event each year. So we have a lot of activities on. And then finally we get about 280 sailors out having fun in the topper.
Cool, I can vouch for that. I had heaps of fun racing my topper. You did such a good job that I decided to become a coach. Perhaps you can tell us a bit more about what the class are doing to get people into racing toppers.
Topper is famous for being the friendly class. It means we work very hard to make sure that we develop sailors, we bring them through the different classes and through the racing ranks. Training and development is a significant part of the class. Our coaches, like you Flip, help develop our sailors into the pipeline for the British sailing team. With financial support from the RYA, ITCA GBR were able to develop several different squads. This includes the ITCA GBR 4.2 squad for younger sailors, typically between 8 and 13, and the ITCA 5.3 squad, which is typically for sailors up to the age of 17.
Is it easy to get a place in the ITCA training squad?
The process is very straightforward. It's all very dependent upon the abilities of the sailors, and it's also their commitment to their sailing and their development. To apply for a place in the squads, sailors, they need to take part in a handful of events and then go to the RYA website, look at the junior development class and apply there. It's around August each year.
You've mentioned the RYA a couple of times. In what way do they support ITCA?
Firstly, the RYA provides a level of financial support that helps us manage the administration of the class. The RYA, it's recognised topper as a pathway development boat, so that means that the RYA are incredibly keen to make sure that the sailors coming through have the correct level of training, which in turn has brought around the RYA's development of the zone squads and the recent creation of the RYA Topper Junior squads, which is identifying the top female 25 sailors and also the top male 25 sailors.
So in a nutshell, why should people join ITCA?
We know it's impossible for everybody to become an Olympic sailor, but what we do want is for sailors to be able to develop to the best of their ability. So with our easy to enter regatta fleet, 4.2 fleet, 5.3 fleet, we offer mixed sailing for all abilities. We offer those at a national and also at a regional level. So really the sailors can come and attend ITCA-based events and develop their skills and abilities and really become sailors for life.
Thanks, Colin. You nailed it.
Hello, I'm Ewan. I've managed to get some time with Ian Walker. He's won the Foval Ocean Race and some Olympic medals and is now the racing director of the RYA. Hi Ian, thank you for meeting me. Can you please tell me a bit about your role at the RYA?
Well, as you rightly say, I'm the Director of Racing at the RYA, so what that means is I'm responsible for the performance of our Olympic sailing team, and in fact all of the British sailing team, including the junior and youth sailing pathway that feeds it. And we need some of the best sailors in the world. We need all the talent to come out of those junior and youth classes in order to feed into our Olympic programme. And that's why I love spending time with our junior and youth sailors and love following the classes like the Topper.
Have you ever sailed a topper?
Have I ever sailed a Topper? Of course I've sailed a Topper. When I was about your age, the Topper was a brand new boat, and all I ever wanted was a Topper. In fact, I used to do jobs around the house, and I used to have a paper round, and I used to save my money under the carpet because I wanted to buy a Topper. So I used to hide my money away, but I never earned enough money to buy a Topper. I used to borrow them off people at the club, and I had a really good friend who sold Toppers at the sailing club. And we used to go out and have a lot of fun in them. Sometimes we'd be racing it, but sometimes we'd just be capsizing, seeing how many people we could get on it. So the Topper played a big part in my development.
So as a top sailor, will I have any chances to get into the British sailing team?
Well, I've not seen you sail yet, Ewan. I'm looking forward to seeing you sail, but I've seen lots of the other Topper kids out there sailing. And if you look at the British sailing team, you know, many of the sailors came from Toppers. Giles Scott, he's the America's Cup tactician. He won a gold medal in Rio at the Olympics, and he was one of our best young Topper sailors. Elliot Hansen is another one, and many more who go on to America's Cup and Olympic sailing. So absolutely, I think the thing about the Topper is because it's one design, because they're all the same, I think it really teaches you how to become a good sailor. It's all about the kids in the boat and how well they sail, and that's a great foundation for the future.
Can you please explain what race training opportunities are there at the RYA?
Well, what we do in the British youth system is we try and create the right environment for people to learn, and that's the most important thing, is to learn and to enjoy sailing, because we want people to stay in the sport for the long term. Now that might be you start at your club or you know, training like local training like jets, but then as you progress you might sail in your region. We have zone squads, there's 6 of those in England, plus of course Wales, Scotland and Northern Ireland. And then above that we have our national squads, and we have a boys and a girls squad. And if you're lucky enough to get in one of those squads, then what we do is provide the very best coaches to try and help and support you. So these are probably kids who were like you one day, learning to sail in a Topper, so they know exactly what it's all about, and we give you the opportunity to learn from some of the very best young sailors in the country.
Do you think any of the current Topper sailors have the potential to get in the British sailing team?
Well, I don't think they have the potential. I know they have the potential. At this stage, at that age, it's all about having the enthusiasm, having the passion for the sport, and learning from your mistakes.
Thanks, Ian.
No problem.
Reactivate. We love Toppers.
Generation after generation.
The only sailing polypropylene boat in the world.
The ultimate one design.
Fair competition.
Virtually indestructible.
They reactivate quickly, easily and cheaply.
They just keep going.
From brother to sister
To friend.
Or to club.
And when they get a bit tired.
Reactivation kits can be bought from Topper Sailboat.
and it can be recycled up to 8 times. How do I reactivate my topper? There's a video online.
If you think you want to join the next Topper generation, you can find out more at the Topper Sailboats website.
If you'd like to find out about ITCO GBR membership and racing events, check out their website and social media.
See you on the start line.
That's a wrap.
Epic. Pretty mad. Full on.
Exhilarating.
Intense. Scary.